Hello, hello, hello. Whoever joining, can you please type your name in the chat box? Good evening, ma'am. Okay, good evening. How are you, Aryanandani? Good evening, Ishwari. How are you? My day was fine. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, let's wait for others to join, then we will start the class. Okay. Good evening, Arushi. Good evening. Okay, let's wait for another 1 or 2 minutes, then we will start. Okay. Good evening, good evening. Can you please type your name in a chat box? I'm fine, I'm fine. Srishti, okay. Good evening, Srishti. Let's wait for another 1 minute, then we will start, okay? Let's others to join. Good evening, Anay. Good evening, good evening. Good evening, Anay. Okay, then let's start with the class. Okay. So, hello, my dear students. This is Srishti Pandit, your EVS teacher. Okay. Uh, Today we are starting with the chapter called the Moon. Okay. So, uh, today we are going to learn about a very beautiful object which is present in the sky, right? Night. At you can able to see this at a night. Okay, it is a moon. Okay, we are going to see more about the moon, something like that. So before starting that, can you please tell me, have you ever noticed that sometimes the moon looks round, right? Sometimes it looks half, sometimes it can't see it at all. So why this happens? Do you know why this happens? Yes, do you know why the moon changes its shape? Sometimes you can't able to see the moon too. Do you know why it is happens? Yes, Anay. Yes. So, let me tell you. Yes, Anna, you are very correct. So let me tell you again. The reason behind this is moon doesn't have its own light. ठीक है? रात में वो अगर shine कर रहा है, that doesn't that not a light of the moon, but it is a light of the sun. Okay, sun reflects the light and moon shines because of the sun. So sometimes the sun reflects all the light to the moon, that's why we can able to see the full moon day. Sometimes you can the sun sometimes the sun reflects only a half part of the moon or a little bit part of the moon, or sometimes is sun can't able to reflect the sun. Okay, that's why we can able to see the moon changes its shape. Okay, that is the reason behind that. Good evening, Anvita. Good evening. Okay, so this is something, uh you can say a beautiful object is a moon and why it is changing its shape. Okay, today we are going to look this only in a very thorough way. Okay, so let's move forward to the content, whatever we are going to cover today. So the contents are, what is the moon? We are going to see what is the moon. Then we are going to see surface of the moon, then the movement of the moon, then phases of the moon, then eclipse, then the importance of the moon, interesting facts about the moon. Then we are going to see the worksheets too. Okay, we are at last we are going to solve questions too. Okay. Okay, then let's move forward to the part called what is the moon. Okay, so yeah, so what is the moon? Children, see, the moon is the natural satellite of the earth. What does natural satellite mean? It means an object that moves around a planet naturally. How our planet is earth, so moon revolving, or you can say moves around the earth naturally. Okay, so the moon moves around the earth all the time. Okay, that's why you can say this is the moon is the natural satellite of the earth. Okay, now tell me, does the moon have its own light? I already told you at the starting. Does moon have its own light? Yes or no? You can type in a chat box. Does moon has its own light? No. Yes, correct. The moon doesn't have its own light. The moon shines because it reflects the light of the sun. Okay, and it looks bright at night, but it's actually a rocky body. But moon is actually a rocky body. Rocky body means it is made up of rock, right? But it shines at the night because those it reflects the light of the sun. Okay, so this is why we can see the moon at night. So this is something. Yes, yes, it reflects of sun, it reflects the light of the sun. Yes, correct. So this is something, is a moon. Okay, the moon is a natural satellite of an earth's natural satellite. I already told you, a revolving object around the planet. Our planet is earth, means the moon is revolving. A moon is moving around the earth. That's why it is a natural satellite of the earth. It doesn't have its own light, but the moon shines because the it reflects the light of the sun. Okay, and the moon is actually a rocky body. Rocky body means it is made up of stone, rock. Okay, so moving forward. Okay, now moving forward to the surface of the moon. Okay, the surface of the moon has craters, mountains, plains. Okay, let's understand about this. So the surface of firstly the surface of the moon is rocky I told you it is a rocky, means a stone like thing, and it is uneven, not a plane. Okay, not it. It is not a plane. And here it's wrote that craters. Craters means craters are big holes when big holes made when the rocks from the space hit the moon. Okay, in a space there are lots of rock. Okay, when they hit to the moon, there is some big holes are present in the moon. Okay, that is something a craters. Okay, it has mountains like structure too. You can say the moon is having a the surface of the moon is a rocky and uneven. Okay, and there is some big holes. Okay, so this is what a surface of the moon has. Here you can see in this image, right, you can see this is a craters, and you can see this is the mountains. There is something structures like this is a mountains. Even there is a plane means this type of structure. Okay, that's why you can say in a simple language that the surface of the moon is uneven. Okay. Okay, so next thing is uh, there is in a space. Okay, or there is no air around the there is no air around the moon. There is no water, no planets, no plants. Okay, no plants, no animals, so we cannot live on the moon because there is no air. We need air, right? We need oxygen, we need water, we need plants, we need animals. That's why there is no life present on the moon, because in the moon there is no air, no water, no plants, no animals. Okay, and we cannot hear sound on the moon because there is no air na. If you want to listen, you are listening me from here to your phone and whatever laptop you have. That's because of the air. There is air present here, that's why I am talking, you can able to listen me. But when there is no air, you can't able to listen me. Okay, that's why you can see that at the moon also there is no air, so we cannot hear sound on the moon. Okay, and in the moon, days are very hot and nights are very cold. Okay, because at the daytime the sun reflects, and the reflection is very, you can say, strong. That's why at the daytime the moon is very hot, and at the night time it is very cold. Understood? Yes, understood the surface of the moon, and understood there is no life because there is no air, water, plants, animals. Okay, and at the moon, when a daytime it is the moon is very hot, and at the night it is very cold. Okay, I can see replies. Yes, yes. Okay then. uh, okay then, moving forward to the next slide. Movement of the moon. Do you know movement? Let me tell you. Okay, movement, you can see this is the earth in the picture. Okay, this is the earth, and suppose this is a moon. Okay, oh my moon, wait. Okay, so this is a moon. So moon is revolving around the earth. Revolution means you can see like this type of movement. Okay, revolution around the earth. Okay, how many days it takes to complete one revolution around the earth? It takes 29 and a half days. Okay, so it takes about 29 and a half days to complete one round around the what? Around the earth. Okay. This time is called a lunar month. Means 29 and a half days is called a lunar month. Okay. And one more interesting fact here I wrote at the last line, that it always we can always see only one side of the moon from earth. Okay, we can't able to see the whole moon, right? You are looking the moon in a 2D way, right? You can able to see like this only, you can't able to see the whole spherical like circle, whole you can say ball like circle. No, we are only able to see the one side of the moon from the earth. Okay, that's the interesting fact. Okay, and here one more line, it is written that the moon also rotates on its own axis. Okay, so this is something called rotation and revolution. Okay, movement of the moon is both rotation and revolution. What is rotation means? Rotation means the moon also rotates on its own axis. Own axis means take a balloon and rotate like this. Okay, ऐसे. Okay, then and revolution means like this, around the earth. Okay, so the moon have both type of movement, rotation too and revolution too. Rotation means in rotating on its own axis means ऐसे, and revolution means earth के आगे पीछे ऐसे अराउंडली घूमना. ठीक है, that is something a revolution. Understood the movement of the moon and what is rotation, what is revolution, and moon take 29 and a half days to complete one revolution. Everyone understood this type, this 3 4 lines? Yeah, we can see 3D moon in a space, not from earth. Yes, I can see everyone understood. Okay, so you have to remember this, right? The main point of this slide is moon rotates, the movement of the moon are rotation and the revolution, and it takes 29 and a half days to complete one revolution of the earth. That 29 and a half days called a lunar month. Okay, and at the last we can only able to see the one side of the moon from earth. Okay. Okay, I can see everyone understood. So, if you understood, let's move forward. So, now next is the phases of the moon. Okay, so phases of the moon means have you ever, I told you at the start only, the shape of the moon keeps changing, right? This changing space, this changing shapes are called phases of the moon. Sometime you can able to see the whole moon, sometime you can able to not, you can't able to see the moon. Even sometime you can able to see half moon, or little semicircle type, or you can say like this, what you can say like this type of moon, right? This is all a phases of the moon. Okay, so let's see what are the phases of the moon. Yeah, there are 5 phases. Okay, new moon, crescent moon, half moon, gibbous moon, and full moon. Let's see what are they one by one. Okay, so the new moon means the moon is not visible in the sky. It, okay, it is not visible in the sky. That means where the moon is present, where, see, let me tell you. You can able to say this is our sun, a very big sun. Okay, this is our sun, and this is our earth. Okay, this is our earth. Moon is revolving around the earth means this is our moon, a small moon, and it is revolving around the earth like this. Okay, so when sun and earth, when the moon is between sun and earth, that time there is no that time the moon is not visible on the sky. That means that time it is a new moon day. Okay, because the moon is present between the sun and the earth. Okay, now next is the, so this is something a new moon day when the moon is not visible in the sky. Okay, then next part is the crescent moon. A thin curved shape is visible, thin curved shape like this. Okay, that is something a crescent moon. Okay, a thin curved like shape is visible in the sky. Then there is a third, which is a half moon day. Only half part of the moon is visible like this. Okay, only the half part of the moon is visible in the sky. Then there is something called gibbous moon. Gibbous moon means when more than half but not very full. Okay, more than half means if this is a sun, a more than half. Okay, this is something a more than half. So that is something the phase called gibbous moon, when the moon shows more than half part of the, more when the moon is visible more than half part of the moon. Okay, then there is a full moon day when the whole moon is appears round and bright. That time that time what happens, earth comes between the sun and the moon that times. Okay, this is a new moon. Okay, this is something a new moon when moon is not visible. Okay, in that time moon comes between the sun and the earth, and when there is full moon, when there is full moon, earth comes between the sun and the moon, means this is our sun. Okay, wait. Yeah, this is our sun and this is our earth, and the moon is on this side here. Okay, that on a full moon day the earth comes between the sun and the moon. Okay, so these are the all the phases: new moon, crescent moon, half moon, gibbous moon, full moon. Okay, new moons means there is no moon visible on the sky. Then crescent moon means a thin curved shape is visible only. Then half moon, when the half moon is visible. Gibbous moon means when there is more than half part of the moon is visible. And at the last there is a full moon day, means the whole moon appears round and bright in the sky. Okay, I hope you everyone understood all the five phases of the moon. Can you please reply in the chat box yes or no? You have to remember all the five names: new moon, crescent moon, half moon, gibbous moon, and full moon. Okay, I can only see the reply of Aryan Nandani. What about others? Do you have any doubt? You can type in a chat box. Okay, if you have any doubt. What about others? Yeah, I can see Srishti's reply. Yeah. What about others? Anay. Yeah. Okay. Arushi. Okay. 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 Then let's move forward. These are something of phases of the moon. Just remember all the names: new moon, crescent moon, half moon, gibbous moon, and full moon. Okay. Now eclipse. Okay. Let's move to the topic called eclipse. Do you know what is eclipse? Yes or no? Do you know what is or what are eclipse? Okay, I can see Arya Nandini knows. Okay, okay. Okay, then I know. Okay, so let's see what is eclipse. Okay, a lunar eclipse happens. When happens lunar eclipse? When the Earth comes between the sun and the moon. I already told you it happens when there is a full moon day. I already drawed the drawing. You already saw. Okay, wait. So this is the lunar eclipse when there is a full moon day and the earth comes between the sun and the moon. Okay, this is something happens when there is a lunar eclipse. Okay, that means the earth shadow falls on the moon. Here you can see the sun is present. The sun is present here, so the sun reflects the light to the earth, and earth shadow will be on the moon. Okay, right? So that is, you can say that when the earth shadows falls on the moon, or when the earth comes between the sun and the moon, it happens only on a full moon night. That is something called a lunar eclipse. Okay, now next is the solar eclipse. Okay, solar eclipse, when the moon comes between the sun and the when the moon comes between the sun and the earth. I already told you this is something a new moon day when the moon is not visible. That is something a solar eclipse. Okay, and here the moon blocks sunlight. Okay, here you can say, in here sunlight falls to the moon and moon blocks the sunlight to the earth. Okay, at that time. So that is something a solar eclipse. It is happening only when there is a new moon day. Okay, so this is something a lunar and a solar eclipse. Everyone understood this. So let's see the point. Lunar eclipse occurs when the earth comes between the sun and the moon. When earth shadow falls on the moon, it happens only on a full moon night. When there is a full moon night, there is a lunar eclipse too. Okay. Then there is solar eclipse occurs when the moon comes between the sun and the earth. Okay, the moon blocks the sunlight from reaching the earth, from reaching the parts of the earth. It happens only a new moon day, and we should not or never look directly at the sun during the solar eclipse. Everyone understood what is lunar eclipse and what is solar eclipse? Just remember like this: lunar eclipse means full moon day, full moon, and solar eclipse means new moon. Okay, then from full moon you can able to tell that it is occurs when the earth comes between the sun and the moon, and solar eclipse when it new moon occurs when the moon comes between the sun and the earth. I want reply from everyone. Did you understood eclipse? Because this is very important thing. Yes, I can see Arushi replied understood. Aryanandini replied yes, ma'am, understand. Ishwari replied yes, understood. What about others? Can you please reply? Did you understood eclipse? Because it is very important. Yes, Srishti replied understood. Okay, Anvita, yes, understood. Okay, okay. Then moving forward. Okay, moving forward. Importance of the moon. Why moon is important? Okay. So, moon is important because it causes tides in ocean. Do you know what is tides in ocean? There is a gravity present in the moon. Just like in the earth, there is a gravity present in the moon too. Okay, and that gravity causes tides in the ocean. Do you know what is tides in the ocean? Yes. So tides means you can say lehre. When you go to the beach, you can able to see there is lehre. When there is a you can see able to see in this example, right? this is these are the tides. It might rise, it might falls. Okay, these are the tides. Okay, so there the gravity present in the moon which causes the tides in the ocean. Okay, and it may, and secondly, why it is important to us, because it makes our night brighter, right? Night हमारा shine करता है moon की वजह से, and it helps scientists to study space. Even moon helps the scientists to study the space. Okay, because at the start I already told you moon is the natural satellite, means it is revolving around the earth. That's why due to that feature you can able to say that it helps to scientists to study the space. Okay, so that's why moon is very important for us. Now let's see. Now let's see, there is some interesting facts about the moon. Okay, so what are they? Listen carefully. Okay, the moon is about 3,84,400 kilometer away from the earth. Just remember this number. Okay, 3,84,400 kilometer away from the earth. Okay, and astronauts can jump higher on the moon. And you already know that humans went to the moon, right? The first women went to the moon in 1969, firstly. Secondly, when astronauts reached at the moon, they can jump higher on the moon. Yes, why higher? Because the moon has very weak gravity. There is gravity present, but it is very weak. Very weak means not strong, not a strong like an earth. Okay, that's why moon can astronauts, not moon, astronauts can jump higher on the moon. Okay, so these are the some interesting facts. Just remember this number. The moon is about 3,84,400 kilometer away from the earth. Secondly, the moon has very weak gravity. Third, astronauts can jump higher on the moon. Fourth, the human first woman landed on the moon in 1969. Okay, everyone understood the interesting fact about the moon and the importance of the moon for us. Everyone understood these things, yes or no? If you understood, then let's move to the questions. Okay, if you understood, let's move to the question part. I can see Srishti replied yes, understand. Yeah, I can see Ishwari, understand. What about others? Okay, Anvita, yes, understood. Aryanandani, yes. Arushi, yes. Okay, what about Anay? Anay, did you understood or not? Yes, you you already told me that this is you like to study space. So what's now? Did you understood everything about the moon? So this is all about the moon. Okay. Okay, okay. Okay, then let's move to the questions. You have to answer in a chat box. Okay. So your first question is, the moon is the dash satellite of Earth. You have to answer in a chat box. The moon is the dash satellite of the Earth. Okay, Aryanandani natural, Anvita natural. Okay. Ishwari, natural, Anay, natural. Yes. Yes. Natural is the correct answer. The moon is the natural satellite of the earth. Natural is the correct answer. Your next question is the moon shines by reflecting the light of the the moon shines by reflecting the light of the. Yes, sun is the correct answer. The moon shines by reflecting the light of the sun. The next question is one revolution of the moon takes about dash days. 28, Ishwari. What about others? 21 and sorry, 21 not 29 and a half days. Yes, correct, correct. Whoever answered 29 and a half is the correct answer. 29 and half days. Okay. Your next question is a lunar eclipse occurs on a dash moon night. Which moon night the lunar eclipse occurs? Very good. Everyone answering. Yes, full is the correct answer. The lunar eclipse occurs on a full moon night. Full is the correct answer. Now, your next question is the moon has no dash. Has no own light. Okay, Arushi, own light is also correct. Air. Air is the very accurate answer I want. The moon has no gravity. How gravity? There is gravity present in the moon, and that is very the gravity causes the tides on moon. There is gravity, but it is very weak. Life, air, own light, everything is correct. Whoever answered the moon has no own light, that is also correct. The moon has no air, that is also correct. The moon has no life, that is also correct. But gravity, no, gravity is not a correct answer. There is gravity present on the moon, which is very weak. And due to that gravity, the tides in oceans, which is present in the earth, that causes the tides in the ocean. Okay. So there is gravity on the moon. Okay. Whoever answered air, life, own light is the correct answer. So air, life, own light, these answers are correct. Okay, then moving forward, now you have to tell me true and false. You can type T for true and false for F for false. Okay, your first question is the moon has its own light, true or false? I can see false, false, false. Yes, false is the correct answer. Okay, you can answer second one. We always see the same side of the moon. We always see the same side of the moon. I want answer for second question. Whoever answered true is the correct answer. From the earth, if you are seeing, you always see the same side of the moon, not the other side of the moon. So the answer will be true, not false. Okay. So whoever answered true is the correct answer. Your next question is, a solar eclipse happens on a full moon day. The solar eclipse occurs on a full moon day. False is the correct answer. The solar eclipse happens on a new moon day, not on a full moon day. Okay. Your next question is, there is air and water on the moon. Yes, false. There is air and water. There is no air and water on the moon. So our answer will be false. Your next question is, the moon causes tides in the sea. The moon's true is the correct answer. Okay, Aryanandani. Okay, true is the correct answer. The moon causes the tides in the sea, tides in the ocean. Okay, so true is the correct answer. Okay, I hope everyone understood this. Moving forward, okay, now you have to tell me A, B, C, D, whatever the answer is, multiple choice question. Your first question is, the moon shines because it produces light, reflects sunlight, is very hot, or is a star. Why the moon shines? What about others? Anvita, Arenandani, Ishwari. Okay. What about others? Arushi, Anay, Srishti. Yes, P is the correct answer. The moon shines because it reflects the sunlight. Moon doesn't have its own light. Okay. So B is the correct answer. Your next question is, which phase shows the full round moon? New moon, half moon, full moon, crescent moon. Okay. Which phases shows the full round moon? Okay, okay. What about Arushi and Anay? Yes. On the full moon day, you can able to see the full round moon. Next question is, a solar eclipse occurs when Earth comes between sun and moon. Moon comes between sun and earth. Sun comes between earth and moon. And star, D, star blocks sunlight. Okay, Anay. Okay, okay. Aishwari, Arushi, Anvita, yes. Aryanandani. Okay. Yes, A is the correct answer. When Earth comes between Sun and Moon, that time solar eclipse occurs. Okay, very good. Everyone is correct. Now you can unmute yourself for the next, or you can type in a chat box, whichever you are comfortable with, and tell me the answers. Okay. Your next question is, next worksheet is short answers questions, and you have to answer this question: why does the moon look bright at night? Why moon looks bright at night? Very simple answer. You don't have to write during day, because it reflects the light of the sun is the correct answer, Anvita. Why does the moon look bright at night? Because it reflects the light of sun. This is very correct answer. Because the light reflects on the moon, this, and we the moon look bright. Okay, Arushi, the light reflects on the moon because it, or you can say because it reflects the light of the sun. This is the very correct answer. Okay. Your next question is, what are craters? Yes, Anvita, correct. Your next question is, okay. Yes, Aryanandani, correct, correct, correct. Very good. What are craters? Yes. What are craters? Yes, craters are holes in the moon by the asteroid. Okay, correct. What about others? I am waiting for your replies. A crater is a large bowl shaped hole on the surface of the planet. Correct, Aryanandani. Okay. So this is the correct answer. you can say that not this, you can say that it craters, wait, don't know, Anvita. A craters is a large bowl. This is the correct answer. A craters is a large bowl hole shaped on the surface of the earth. Okay. Okay, this is the correct answer. A craters is a large bowl shaped hole, or you can say a craters is a big hole. Simple. A craters is a big hole on the surface of the planet, not on the surface of the moon. Okay, that is something a craters. What is a lunar eclipse? Do you know what is lunar eclipse? When the earth comes between the moon and the sun. That is something a lunar eclipse. Correct, Anvita. So, lunar eclipse means when the lunar eclipse occurs when the earth comes between the sun and the moon. Now you have to answer this question. Name all, not any two, all. Okay, your question is name all the phases of the moon, all the five phases. Can you please name all the five phases of the moon? Y- Yes, Aryanandani, that is something also correct. Lunar eclipse happens when the earth passes between the sun and the moon. That is also correct. Now you can answer fourth one. Name all the phases of the moon. Anvita, you answered only four. There is five. New moon, crescent moon, gibbous moon, full moon, and there is one more. There is total five phases of the moon. New moon means there is no moon present. Crescent moon means when moon is half. Then gibbous moon when moon is more than half. And full means when the moon is full. So which is pending? There is something half moon, okay? Half moon day. There is also half moon day, okay? So full firstly new moon, then oh sorry, new moon, then crescent moon, then half moon, then gibbous moon, then full moon. These are the all the phases of the moon. Okay, I hope you can able to see this. Otherwise, I will write here. Okay, new moon, crescent moon, half moon, gibbous moon, and the full moon. Yes, Anna, yes, correct. New moon, gibbous moon, crescent moon, full moon, half moon, correct? Yes, and with a half, yes, correct. Aryanandani, new moon, crescent, gibbous, full moon, half moon, yes. Everyone is correct. Now, I am giving you one homework for you all. You have to write this, okay? Your homework question is, I am writing here. I will also give you the homework. Your homework question is that I am writing the question here. Wait, just give me a second. You have to write this question in a very long way, okay? Briefly, you have to explain the phases of the moon, okay? All the phases of the moon, there is five, right? You have to explain that why it is happening, okay? Your question is that. So your homework question is that. Okay. Explain the phases of the moon with reasons. Okay, this is your homework question. Explain the phases of the moon with reasons. Okay, I hope everyone understood all the questions. If you have any doubt, you can ask. Otherwise, we will end this class. Okay. Okay, let me tell you the reason. How the reason. You can see in this here. You can see in this slide. So reason, because new moon. The reason, because it comes between the sun and the earth. Crescent moon, just write a thin curved shape in is visible. That's it. For half moon, only half moon is visible, and you have to write the reason for only two. For what? New moon, because it comes, the moon comes between the sun and the earth, and full moon, because the earth comes between the sun and the moon. You have to write the reason for only two phases. I am giving you hint. You have to write this whole slide. The first new moon, why, what is new moon? Its reason. Second crescent moon, what is crescent moon? Half moon, what is half moon? Gibbous moon, what is gibbous moon? Full moon, what is full moon and its reason? This is how you have to answer that question. Okay, that is your homework question. I hope everyone understood everything. If you have any doubt, you can type in a chat box. Otherwise, we will end this class. Okay, 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 okay. No doubts. You have to send it in our in our class, this webs where the class is happening right now. Okay, you have to, I will raise the questions, I will raise the homework, and you have to answer it there. Okay, no doubt, no doubt, understood. Okay, 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 okay. Okay, then let's end this class. Bye bye, good night, take care.